Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm giving you guys the top 5 best loadouts for Warzone 2 Ashika Island. These are the best class setups you could actually use. And I think I want to start out with the hottest setup that I'm using right now, which is the ISO Hemlock and the Doof. These are the first two I want to show you, but I'm going to show you 5 in total. All these are going to be meta. All these guys are going to be the fastest TTKs, and all these are going to be extremely easy for you to use. So even if you don't have good accuracy, you can use these classes. So we're going to start out with the ISO Hemlock. Now I remember some wacko actually told me to use the .300 BLK armor piercing, and honestly there's just no reason to use that. It's because one, it reduces the bullet velocity and fire rate, and you just don't need to use it. You honestly don't need to use that. Someone even recommended the .300 blackout. It also reduces fire rate and bullet velocity. Trust me, you don't need that. This is the best build. This right here, best build. Harbinger D20. Increase the bullet velocity by 0.87 inches and the recoil smoothness by 0.54 ounces for sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness at the cost of aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking speed. Move on to the F-Tac Ripper 56. Increase the aiming out stability at 0.35 inches and the recoil stabilization by 0.65 ounces. This helps with aiming out stability, hip fire accuracy, which doesn't matter, and recoil stabilization. Only downside is it decreases aim down sight speed and walking speed, but it's not a big deal because this is an AR and you're going to be using this for mid to long range gunfights, with the occasional short range, which should probably be easy to kill regardless. Fielder T50 barrel. For damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed, hip recoil control, and movement speed, we're increasing the damage range by 0.17 inches and the recoil steadiness by 0.15 pounds. Don't tune anything beyond where I have them just because it doesn't benefit beyond that. In fact, it may hurt you if you increase it even more. Aim out B4, max out the far distance. 45 round mag unless you think you can handle a 20, which I don't recommend. Now here is the outcome. This thing is absolutely broken and very easy to use. Check this out. Very little recoil. You don't have to try. In fact, I was barely holding my thumbstick down. And now if we get some headshots in, you kill even faster. Now long range, obviously it's a little harder to get headshots, but it's still extremely easy to use this gun. You need to use this gun so you can do good in the game. It does plenty of damage and has 0 recoil. Now for the Doof. This is the best weapon close range. In fact, I can't think of a better weapon to use close range than this. That's why I want to show you guys the best long range and close range weapons immediately, so that you guys didn't need to waste your time watching any other video. The Doof, aka the KV broadside, is insane and it's just so easy to use. If I put on the Gunner D20 barrel for the damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control at the cost of hip recoil control, aim down sight speed, and movement speed. None of which matter. You can hip fire this thing. Increase the damage range by 0.30 inches and don't change the weight. Do not. Put on the 12 gauge Dragon's Breath for the incendiary damage. Trust me, it's worth it. Increase the bullet velocity by 3.77 GR and don't go beyond that because it doesn't help. Put the damage range of 0.52 Gs and don't go beyond that because it does not help. Put on the 25 shell drum because you want to shoot this as many times as you possibly can. Put on the Dash Bolt 60 because otherwise you're going to shoot this very slow and you want this to shoot as fast as possible. In fact, I'll even show you the pros and cons of having it on there versus not having it on there. So this is the VLK stock list for aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control, which are all the things you want. Aiming, recoil control, aiming stability, and flinch resistance do not matter for this gun at all. This is literally the perfect build you can use. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you take the Dash Bolt 60 off. So we're going to go into the firing range, and I'm going to click this as fast as I can. This is as fast as I can. Now, we're going to put on the Dash Bolt 60. Check this out. This is why you want the Dash Bolt 60. Now you guys see the difference. This is the build you're going to want to use. So much better. It does a great job, and this is the loadout that you're going to want to use. Now we're going to move on to some other ones if shotguns really aren't your thing. The Fennec, and I actually titled it the best Fennec because it is in fact the best Fennec class to use. The ZLR 16.5 ignition barrel. Now I know people complain, oh the Fennec got nerfed, it's not good anymore. This Fennec melts better than any other SMG. I will show you other SMGs, but this Fennec is insane. It increases damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed, hip recoil control, and movement speed. Increase the damage range by 0.25 inches and the recoil steadiness by 0.32 pounds. Put on the 0.45 auto overpressured for target flinch. And one thing I specifically wanted this for was the bullet velocity. Increase the bullet velocity by 5.52 GR and the damage range by 0.25 Gs. Put on the Fennec Mag 45. You want to have as many bullets as possible with this. Put on the Fennec rubber grip for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed at the cost of recoil control. Increase the sprint to fire speed by negative 0.16 inches and the aim down sight speed by negative 0.68 ounces. It does not help beyond that. But make sure you have on the Agile Assault 7 stock for sprint speed, aim walking speed, crouch movement speed, and aim down sight speed at the cost of aiming stability and recoil control. Max out the aiming out stability and decrease the weight by negative 2.06 ounces for aim down sight speed. Now after everything, you would think that this has plenty of recoil, right? Well, check this out. Practically no recoil. In fact, the only recoil is long range, which you're not going to be doing. You're going to avoid long range like the plague. Now if you're like Cheney Waney and you have God tier aim, then you can do this long range. You won't have an issue. But if you're not like Cheney Waney and you don't have godlike range, don't do that. Just stick to short to medium range because these long range gunfights are basically going to get you killed. You want to do that all day, you just want to burst fire all day, be my guest, but it's not really going to be in your best interest. Stick to the short, stick to the medium, and when you see a long range gunfight, pull out your long range weapon and take care of that, and you'll be good to go. Next is something I want to show you guys just because I know people are obsessed with the RPK. It's gotten nerfed over and over again, yet people are still obsessed with it. They have to use it, but they need a build that has as little recoil as possible because they can't control a little bit of recoil. So I got you. Don't worry. This is a good build. So, Polar Fire S for sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness at the cost of aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Increase the bullet velocity by 0.32 inches and the recoil smoothness by 0.32 ounces. Put on F-Tac 56 for aiming out stability and hip fire accuracy, along with recoil stabilization at the cost of aim down sight speed and walking speed. Increase aiming out stability by 0.21 inches and the recoil stabilization by 0.44 ounces. 7.62 high velocity for bullet velocity at the cost of damage range. Max out that bullet velocity. Do not change the weight. I know you think you would want to compensate for the damage range, but it already has plenty of damage range. You don't have to worry about that. Demo X2 grip for recoil control at the cost of aiming stability. Don't change the width. Increase the weight by 0.74 ounces for recoil steadiness. And then put on the AIMOT B4. This little miracle right here, still broken no matter what you do to it. In fact, I don't know what they can actually do to make this worse. This thing is still broken, especially short to medium. I don't know what they could actually do to nerf this. In fact, even if they do nerf it, they still have the Sakin, and the Sakin is still broken. So no matter what you do, it's just, I don't really know how they can really stop the LMGs from just taking over Warzone. I mean, they already have taken over Warzone, but this is the last thing I'm going to show you guys because I can't give you guys all my secrets. Like, if I get like 500 likes on this video, maybe I'll give you guys some more great class ups, but this is the last amazing class I'm going to show you. Like I said, none of these guns have recoil. They all destroy extremely fast, extremely easy to use. This is the Lockman sub. Put on the FSS Sharkfin 90 for aiming out stability. Put the aiming out stability at 0.18 inches and the recoil stabilization at 0.23 ounces. Put on the 9mm over-pressured rounds for target flinch. Increase the bullet velocity at 4.94 GR and the damage range at 0.45 Gs. 40 round mag unless you think you can handle the 50, but I think 40 is more than enough. VLK laser 7MW for aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and sprint to fire speed, but the laser is visible, so be careful. Increase the aim down sight speed by negative 19.74 feet, and then the weight by negative 0.31 ounces for sprint to fire speed. Now, make sure you have the Mirror Recoil 56 factory stock for aiming stability, recoil control, and sprint speed at the cost of aim walking speed, aim down sight speed, and crouch movement speed. Put the aiming out stability to 1.32 inches and the weight by negative 1.42 ounces for aim down sight speed. This is the end product. You don't even need a silencer. Like, this thing is just already broken as it is. Only downside is I really would avoid long range gunfights because this is what's going to happen in long range gunfights. And it's not going to work. It's generally not going to work. I'm trying to keep you guys safe. I'm trying to keep you guys smart. Short range, medium range, fine. Avoid long range. Short range, medium range, no long range. Long range, this is not an AR. Long range, just keep to an AR and LMG, and you're good to go.